What's going on, everybody? My name is WiseTV, back again with another video. It's been requested a lot in the last few days, so here I am providing. Welcome to r/pettyrevenge number 4. You guys seem to like this video, and I enjoy making content that you guys enjoy. So anyway, let's hop right into today's video. I share a driveway with 3 other car owners. We live in Canada and have been getting slammed with storms all month. Usually I shovel the driveway and walkway because I like the exercise, but I'm getting tired. 2 of the other housemates will shovel, but the 3rd won't recognize a shovel if I'm bitter in the ass. So this week we had a latest storm. I'm the first one home, so I start shoveling. Miss No Shovel pulls into the driveway. She doesn't say a word to me, just gets out and walks inside. I watched her and thought maybe she'd come back and at least shovel the walkway, about 10 feet. No, she doesn't. So now I'm finally pissed. I shovel around my car, I shovel out the other 2 spaces, but I carefully leave her car and space alone. Then it starts freezing rain. Because Miss No Shovel just got home, her windshield is clear and warm. The freezing makes a lovely sheet of ice. Before I go inside, I lift my wipers, but not hers. It also snowed again in the night. When I left for work in the morning, her car was covered in ice and then about 3 inches of snow, and around her car was snow with a layer of ice covered by another layer of snow which had frozen into the concrete. This time she had no choice but to shovel, or rather chip her way out of the driveway. Kinda serves her right for doing nothing after all those times of being helped. Karma strikes back. That's how it works. This took place back when I was in 9th grade. We had recently shifted into a new building, and because of that we had no bell or anything to tell us the time. The school found clocks to be distracting. Due to this, those who had watches used to keep track of time so that the teachers would get to know that it was the next period. They never got the hint and continued teaching. Now we had 2 breaks. One was for 20 minutes and the other was for 10 minutes. Since I had acidity or some related complication, I had to remind the teachers that it was just break just so that I could go eat. I also love food, so my classmates used this to make me remind the teachers and then made fun of me for being such a glutton. No, that's not what they called me, but it's the only English translation that I could find. Truth was, our teachers were extremely strict and no one was brave enough to talk to them. I even got shouted at a couple of times for doing this. One day, I decided that I had enough. I left my watch at home and just came to school without it. I managed to cover it up for the morning classes by saying, "It's showtime," when anyone asked me what the time was. Haha, funny. When the first break started to get nearer, everyone began to ask me to tell the teacher about it being break. At that time, a teacher who is notorious for completely taking over classes was teaching us. By the last 5 minutes, they were literally harassing me without the teacher noticing us. The teacher then continued to take over the whole break until the next class started. I did it for the next break as well and kept it up for a whole 5 days. I don't know if this story is BS or not, because I don't know what kind of teacher doesn't use a clock, but oh well. Still though, the class deserved the revenge after being so rude to a guy that was just trying to help. The thing that I don't understand is, if the teachers are extremely strict, then how was he getting harassed without the teacher noticing? As soon as I whisper something in the class, the teachers are always on my back. Like, if he's getting harassed, someone's bound to notice. Today I pulled into a small parking lot. It looked full except for one space, which was next to a big 4-wheel drive whose driver had the driving door and back door open. We made eye contact as I thought I made it clear I wanted to pull into the space, but he gave me a dirty look and then ignored me. Lucky for me, I noticed the space on the other side of the car was also free, so I went for that one instead. A lady had the back door of the car open on that side also, and I thought maybe she was strapping in her kids, so that's fine. I have a kid and I know it takes time. I'd already started to pull in the park, but she too gave me a dirty look and then ignored me, so I wasn't able to get into the space without her closing her door. I had my window down and didn't say anything, but as I had to reverse out of the space, and when I was doing so, the couple were discussing how they hate reversing out of car spaces in such a crowded lot. I didn't see any other free spots, so I thought I'd have to leave the parking lot and loop back around or just park in another area. When I drove around toward the exit, I see a free spot and couldn't believe my luck. I pull in feeling happy, and when I turn my engine off and look up, I'm even happier when I see the couple with dumbfounded expressions in the big 4-wheel drive right in front of me, seemingly shocked that they now have to reverse out of their park instead of just easily driving through and out. I smiled and waved. It's pretty ironic how that happens. They sure did deserve it though for being so rude and inconsiderate, so ha! Joke's on them! So, in October, me and my family went on holiday, and my older sister is 21 and lives with her boyfriend, who is controlling and only comes on holiday with us because my parents pay for us to go. She sees my parents as her personal ATM. Now, she's done a lot of bad stuff over the years, especially to our family, and it breaks my mom's heart every time. But what she did on holiday was too far. She stole $60 from my dad's wallet on holiday while I was in the hotel room studying, and it was only me and her in there. No other money was taken, and I never saw an intruder, so we knew we weren't robbed. My mom confronted her before she found it, and she guilt tripped my mom and said that she would never do that to us. My mom found the money under a mattress 2 nights later and called her out later that night when me and my dad and my sister had all gone to bed. I heard them talking and my sister blamed it on me, saying I planted it there. I made her apologize to me on the plane home, but she obviously didn't give a crap, so I started plotting. She still has quite a lot of clothes at home as her boyfriend doesn't have enough room to store them all. One's for work and going out to party. I made sure to wear all of them for a few days and stink them up a wee bit and not put them in the laundry. When she came home to get some clothes, she couldn't wear any of them out that night apart from the one she had on, and I still make sure she can't wear them. And she takes my clothes without asking, and I'm missing $20, so I'm keeping up the good work. That would suck, coming home and having all your clothes dirty and nothing to wear, but that's what she gets for stealing money, right? It's called payback, also known as petty revenge, hence the video name. This wasn't entirely planned, but it worked out brilliantly in the end. My first job after grad school didn't pay that well and housing was expensive, but I found a room in a house that seemed pretty nice and the owner let me bring my cat. The biggest problem with the place was the owner's dog. He was a young lab with lots of energy and zero training or exercise or discipline of any kind. I had to leave my bedroom door open so my cat could get to his food and litter box, but the dog soon figured out how to get past my makeshift barrier and eat all the cat food. I bought a baby gate and installed it on my door. That lasted a few days until he figured out how to climb over it. I put it up higher, but he figured out how to push it hard enough to knock it down. He was also tall enough to reach the cat's dish, even up on my dresser. I was getting tired of feeding all of my expensive cat food to this glutton of a dog, and his owner wouldn't do a thing about it. I had an old low current electric fence charger that I had used to keep a previous roommate's dog out of our garden. I stapled some chicken wire to an old doormat to make a ground and ran a bare wire along the top of the baby gate. I hooked up both to the fence charger, and the next day when I got home from work, the gate and the food were untouched. I would turn off the charger while I was home and turn it on while I left in the morning, and it worked great for a few days. The next day I get home from a long day, step over the gate and sit down to take off my boots. The homeowner walks over and stands in front of my door yammering on about something, barefoot, wearing shorts, on the still active doormat. Her dog comes along and squeezes his head past her bare leg and onto the top of the gate, making contact with the hot wire. The gate shocks both of them and I sit on the floor laughing while she cusses a blue streak at the dog. I know the dog's bad behavior wasn't his fault. He was just being a young, energetic dog who had nothing to do all day. I was delighted when the gate managed to shock his owner, who was the real source of the problem. The dog eventually learned to stop touching the gate, and I was able to unplug the charger for the last 2 months. I lived there. I was so glad when I could finally afford to escape that chaos. I feel bad for that dog getting zapped and all, but it was the owner's fault. The owner should take better care of their dog. That is a smart dog though. Actually, here's a little personal story. I used to live out in some fields where they grew grapes and stuff, and we had a gate probably about 5.5, 6 feet tall. Our dog would literally put her paws inside. It was a chain link fence. She'd put her paws in it and then manage to climb herself up and launch herself over. She's a big chocolate lab, probably like 130 pounds, and she managed to launch herself over this giant fence. It's pretty crazy. Dogs are really smart. And they're really dumb too sometimes, but they're pretty smart. More gas station stories, this time with a rude customer. So it's 5 a.m. I'm on my last hour of my 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift and I'm too tired for this BS. In comes a customer who looks like they are in their early 40s, wearing clothes that look like they've been worn all week. They will be angry drunk guy. ADG heads to the beer coolers for a refill.
Hey, your coolers are locked.
Yeah, they are.
Well, come unlock them so I can get beer.
State law says no alcohol sales till 6 a.m. Unlocking the cooler won't change that.
BS, unlock the cooler.
No.
Yes, I'll buy some from the store down the street then. Since I'm here, I'll just take a pack of smokes.
Me, not happy with being yelled at. Sure, I just need to see some ID. He produces a passport, I think, that is so water damaged that I can't read any of it, let alone make out the photo that it's him or not. Yeah, I can't accept that.
Well, it's the only ID that I have.
Looks like you won't be taking that pack of smokes either then. He goes on a long, unintelligible rant. I'm 30 years old. I don't need to take that crap. Oh, you're 30?
Yeah, now sell me some freaking smokes.
Hey, you see that sign on the door that says anyone under 35 will be carded?
Screw you.
He left without his beer or smokes. Serves him right. That was a good way to end a shift. Oh my god, that hurt my throat. I hate making that voice. Sucks for him though. That's what you get for being drunk. Like, who shows up that early anyway? It's kind of weird. Kind of sketchy too at the same time. Especially considering he's drunk. Lucky he didn't get shot because drunk people do some weird things. Anyway guys, I think that's where I'm going to conclude tonight's video. Also, I made an announcement if you guys haven't heard already. If you get me to 10,000 subscribers by the end of Sunday, 11:59 p.m., I will do a Q&A live stream sometime next week. Most likely Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Date to be determined. Just as long as I hit 10k, like I said, by Sunday night. Also, if you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing and joining the Wise community. Link for my Discord is in the description along with my Instagram. I appreciate the support. It has been really amazing, like I've said in every other video. Thank you for watching this video and taking the time out of your day. If you want to watch more, there's plenty of other content I will be uploading again shortly. Thank you for watching and have a great day.